Can we have two maps in one? Of course we can. What is up, everybody? This is the Mapped Out Gamer, and welcome to another episode of Mapped Out. This is the multiplayer map Recovery in Advanced Warfare. Let's take a look. Alright, so Recovery is located on the outer edge of a volcano. That's right, a freaking volcano. How smart was that? I'm not sure. Recovery is a unique map within itself. Reason being is it's actually two maps in one. The initial part of Recovery has a very dense feel to it, this kind of first phase of the map. It looks like these yellow rocks. I'm not exactly sure what they are. Maybe they're adamantium, or I don't know what the heck they are. But it looks like Atlas is trying to mine these, so you'll see these all spread out throughout the entire map. The aesthetics of the second area in Recovery look to be more organic since it's on the outer edges of the compound. It's basically the evacuation site. We get more vegetation and a lot more hills in this area. The weather conditions for this map are prime for great battles, lots of sunshine, so visibility is pretty high. There is no specific map score streak for this map, however Recovery has a major levolution event trigger that dramatically affects the map flow. This is actually what makes the map so unique to itself. About halfway into the match, the nearby volcano begins to erupt. You know, who would have thought volcanoes erupt? Yeah, okay. So these big giant boulders just start raining down on the map, and this kind of forces everybody to evacuate. So just follow the blinking arrows to evacuate to the safe area. On a side note, I really thought the use of this event trigger was used effectively. It wasn't too much of a big change, but it actually just forces players to really adapt quickly to their new surroundings, and it really throws in kind of this monkey wrench into the middle of a match. I thought that was pretty cool. Alright, so let's kind of switch gears here and talk about layout. The layout of the first area in Recovery is laid out in a heavily modified circular fashion. We get this outer edge lane that encompasses these center complex lanes. In an almost kind of like a pinwheel fashion, these center areas are dense and kind of tricky to navigate. It is sometimes difficult to nail down a specific pathway, so sometimes I did get the sense of being lost in the map, just because the center part of this first area is really dense. Now the layout of the second area of this map is in direct contrast of the initial area. We get three main platforms to navigate along with this floor type of level. These helicopter pads have these long sight lanes and it's very open. At this point I would actually normally switch to a long range loadout because that definitely helps. If you do happen to spawn on the lower ground levels, I would highly recommend quickly boosting up onto the higher ground so you don't get picked off down there. There is plenty of verticality to be had in Recovery. To add to the complexity of the center routes in the initial area, the first area, you are able to get atop of these central rooms in the center of the map. These areas are up higher, but they're still aligned with the higher playing field sight lanes, so you're still pretty exposed up there, so watch out. Once the map transitions into the secondary locations, verticality becomes more prevalent. Now you can jump from the ground floor all the way up to the helicopter pads. You just gotta time your double boost jump appropriately, and once you're up there, there is limited small objects for cover, but I mean, hey, anything's better than nothing. Recovery is a difficult map to really nail down as far as like what center points of interest are. This map has so many angles and obstacles to navigate around, there's hardly a dull moment. That is though if you're playing with enough people on this map. This map only feels full when at least 10 people are on this map, so it is pretty large. We do want to see a lot more people on this map to really get that full effect. I would say mostly areas around the outer edges of the map is where I see most contention as far as the initial areas. I have a feeling this was due to the natural flow since it is kind of like a complex circular fashion. The center of the map just feels too busy. I normally don't go into the center of the map unless I'm playing the objective. Otherwise I just kind of stick to the outer edges. So we're still talking about points of interest. Once the map changes to the secondary area, those helicopter pads are really hot areas. A lot of people like to post up on there. They do give a good overwatch location, to the players traveling below. If you happen to spawn on the lower ground floors, I would highly recommend quickly boosting up to the higher platforms. Recovery is probably one of the more complex maps in Advanced Warfare. It has two areas to it. It's got this levolution event trigger that really changes the dynamic map flow of everything. There has a lot of twists and turns, more turns than anything, in that first initial area. pretty good complexity. This adds to a lot of dynamic firefights. Of course, you want to have a lot more people on this map. If you're playing with anything lower than 5v5, you know, this map will definitely not have such a great flow to it. There's not so many obvious routes or straightaways. You know, it's not like a classic 3-lane map. It's a lot more diverse than that. As always, don't forget to check out the link below in the description for your free digital interactive PDF map. Try saying that 3 times fast. If you enjoyed my video and my work, please just give a thumbs up, or better yet, hit that subscribe button, and look forward to more weekly videos that I'll be producing. So we'll be continuing on the Mapped Out series. Until next time, this is the Mapped Out Gamer. Have a good one.